Let me know if anybody's out there. 5x5, anybody? We'll see if it's got that far. It's not kicked on yet. There it goes. Finally. Scary. Must be crowded on the YouTube tonight. All right, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is June 15th, 2025. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I thought we had a pretty good space weather update. Hope everybody else enjoyed it. I know I did. I'm going to see if anyone's watching. So they didn't send anything out with notice-wise, or people have all been glorified and taken up in the rapture, and I'm the only one left. I'm hoping it's not B. All right, well, we'll talk it out until we find somebody, but we're going to start out with volcanodiscovery.denmark. We're going to look at one of their maps that shows all the volcanoes that are currently under major and minor eruptions around the globe. And I don't remember the number we last landed on, but we have been between 39 this year, within the last 12 months, not this year, within the last 12 months, been below or 239 volcanoes totally erupting, up to, I believe it was 87 or 89. Not quite sure about that in number there. All right. Well, I was hoping that they would send something out, but I guess y'all will have to catch me. I'm going to go ahead and do my video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's determine how many volcanoes are currently erupting around the globe. Again, not my information, never my information. Volcanodiscovery.denmark. And I'll get to counting. And if y'all join us, please take a guess. Like I said, it's going to be somewhere between 39 and 89, if that helps you out or not. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you. So I'm going to go ahead and start counting these volcanoes. Again, between 39 and 89 is what we've seen in the last 6 years of monitoring daily. And we'll let you know just shortly. There is one extra here, I noticed. $30 to there, 2, 33, 4, 5, 6, 36, 36 up to here, guys, 9, 39, 40, 42, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I want to go with 81. If anyone wants to call my bluff, you'll let me know. Tiffany Hartman, are you cheating again? Tiffany Hartman, I didn't know that you called me to wish me a happy Father's Day. That bothered me a bit. I took my daughter to lunch. Hey, Crazy Kathy, we went to Morton's Steakhouse and we both had the cheeseburger. You know, you can get the cheeseburger at Morton's Steakhouse for $15. It's the filet mignon cheeseburger. And she says it's the best cheeseburger in town. Regularly, it costs hundreds of dollars to get out of there, and we get out of there for $60. What's up, Mike Johnson? You been winning at some golf? We got 81 volcanoes currently erupting. All right, good call, Tiffany Hartman. All right, this is Kilauea. It was really blowing hard earlier while I pulled this up. It is taking, I'll make it a little cool looking, taking quite a, well, it's resting. We'll put it like that. Kilauea. Ba-boom. Ready to go. If not, well, others are nearby. All right, we're going to look at earthquakes around the globe. And, of course, is today the weekend? Yes, of course, it's Sunday, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. If anyone is a father, it's a hard job, for sure. We had our last earthquake that they reported. Let's zoom in and see. Slime balls. It's going to be that one. It's going to be reported on the 14th. Why, James? Well, I can't even believe they reported it on a Saturday. They don't work on the weekends. That's why. And they don't share their information with anybody. So we'll not get any information out of Canada. Catherine tells us the world powers are secretly meeting there to discuss World War III. By the way, I guess she means like England and France. We don't consider those world powers here in the U.S. And I love you, Catherine, but we don't consider Canada a world power either. We're just very uppity. You know, that's how we roll. That's how we roll. All right, let's jump over to, let's get rid of this crap. Jump over to volcanoes and earthquakes.com. All right, let me get back a little bit. See, Tim? I called you last year. I was probably depressed. You know, luckily my daughter, God, she was so perfect. She got a little bit too swaggy for me, for a 13-year-old, but all dressed up and gave me a kiss on the cheek. She goes, how about a hug? I said, how about you kiss my cheek? She gave me a big old smacker. So, it's always good to have, it was a good experience. If she's listening, I love you. Remember what we talked about. All right. We've had some bigger quakes today, but not too big. We would think after that huge solar storm we'd be having much larger earthquakes, but we're not. A 5.2? A 5.6? Come on now. I've been in not a 5, but something close to that. So that doesn't really bother me. Down here we had a 5.1, same as here. I'm going to have to scale this, guys. Looks like I've already scaled it. What's going on here? It's because we have chat up. I scaled it for me doing more videos. Alright, so we're going to put the 4 O's on. You can see that we have activity here, and that bothers me. 2 4.0 pluses in South Mexico. I really want to get in there and figure out. I know there's volcanoes here. You can see, anyone can see that this is the volcanic range. And by this, I mean all the way up to San Antonio. See that? See that? I mean, this is forest. That's what that green is, but that is not. Neither is all this crap. We've got a 4.0 and a 4.1, and they're not drilling right there. A little worrisome. All these volcanoes opened up. And, you know, when I lived in Mexico City for 2.5 years, on and off for 2.5 years, this volcano was going off every day. This is where I saw and I don't care if you believe me or not, silver rods or whatever going down. I've also seen a UFO in the Gulf going to work at 5:45 in the morning as a manager. I pulled over to take pictures. It was a circular ball. I hear those are popular. Anyway, this thing's been going off forever. And these 4.0s, anywhere really, all through Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, and then we have a volcanic range running through. It really starts, if you can notice this, over in Venezuela, but we're seeing active volcanoes and one awakening here in Colombia, Ecuador, awakening, large eruption, minor eruption, large, and then down to Peru. This is the Peruvian-Chilean wedge. Peruvian-Chilean wedge. This has 26 to 29,000 open volcano vents. And believe it or not, the only people that own the coast, now, a lot of the park is owned by Argentina down here. But look, Chile is such a badass fighter. They took all of Chile and they wrapped around and took all of Cape Horn and all the way up to here. So the only coastline that big old 39, that made me get on my knees. And I mean, not because I was scared of Jesus, because it just brought me to my knees. I drilled 71 wells out in the Central Valley of California over a 7-year period, and I've been through a quake or 5. All right. So this looks like a swarm and a problem up here. There's a magma chamber right under that. That's where craters of the moon erupted only 1,200 years ago, a speck of time. It's all fracking bullshit here. This bothers me. I told y'all that earlier. A 4.3 here in the Gulf of California. I love how they renamed it. God bless America. Who owns this page? And then up here where the Gulf of America, like, I say we take over the Baja part too. Clean it up and make it a vacation home for everybody. Can always go vacation in Baja. All right, then let's get down to Mexico. Obviously, see this fault, the red fault that ends right here, and it doesn't really reconnect for quite a long time. Well, you're getting a lot of action a lot of these faults, and we only have 4 or 5 faults that don't connect properly or enough to loosen tension in the western hemisphere, but in the eastern hemisphere we have hundreds. This is a huge swarm here, guys. Huge swarm. You can barely see the volcanoes under it. They're going to be yellow. They're going to be full eruption, yellow awakening, full eruption red, minor eruption orange. We can see Puerto Rico is lighting up. I told y'all 5 years ago these two things will never erupt. And we have counted all that. All this is magma movement under these volcanoes here. And remember, these volcanoes are pouring PM 2.5, the deadliest pollutant known to man, into the Central Plains till we have some of the worst air quality we ever can, along with all the huge fires we're about to go over in Canada. Okay? We're going to see all that. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't know if I can recover it or not. See if I can recover it. Can I recover it? Did it recover? Oh my God. Alright, y'all gotta be cool and tell me where I ended up. I was doing an awful good job there. Did I recover it? Is this the same live? It looks like it is. I'm in the back-end software, some of it. He's awake, Choo-Choo Fixer. Well, can y'all tell me, I was talking the entire time, one of my best performances ever, may I say. Can y'all tell me where we went wrong? Or shoot, where we ended, I mean. Where we ended. Just a short break. Sid, I love you, Sid. Alright. Guys, I'm still alive. I've been giving the presentation. It's been awesome, in my opinion. Right? Can y'all tell me, I'm going to pop this back out. I do that to make the computer run easier. I'll pop out that second window because it's running twice as hard. And I'll pop that back in, and then I'll hit a couple other things to take off pressure from whatever's going on. Now, can someone tell me where were we? I'm going to call Tiffany Hartman, see if she picks up Father's Day. Hey, Siri, call Tiffany Hartman on speakerphone.
Calling Tiffany Hartman on speaker.
She hates to do it. The phone's so jealous. I swear the phones get jealous. Too short to worry about? Well, I don't know hey, I don't know where I was. Have we gone through all the magma movement in Central America yet? Have we gone through Venezuela? The fact that these would never go off, all this active stuff here, volcanoes that are awakening, volcanoes that are under minor eruption, major eruption in red there. And did we talk about the Peruvian-Chilean wedge? Did we talk about the wedge with 26 to 29,000 volcanic vents here? Y'all let me know. But now we did, right? I'd rather not worry about it, because if I can keep it all in one video, golly. Oh, the PM 2.5 is what he's talking about from the Central American. So the deadliest particulate known to man is called PM 2.5. You can check it on Google. It's a gaseous state. It's a killer. It increases your, just with 10 micrograms per meter cubed, increases your lung cancer percentage by 36%, according to the WHO and the National Research Association of Cancer. WHO, the World Health Organization. That's where I get my numbers from, so YouTube won't whine about it. But all this, all that PM 2.5, and the magma moving, all these volcanoes erupting here, that's all moving here. All the fires, y'all won't believe. Canada's on fire big time. We're about to look. Canada's on fire, man. I don't even know how. And this is the 29,000 volcanic calderas. Can we call them that? Yes, we can. Is it? I wonder if methane, because I believe the Gulf of Mexico is killing everything around it with methane, a big methane volcano. I wonder if methane is a lot more deadly than PM 2.5. Although if you look up PM 2.5, it says it's a number 1 or 3 carcinogen, whatever the top is. It's the deadliest. It does say deadliest air pollutant known to man. And they do besides now after I reported on them. But besides things that we made up this year. All right, microvolcano is still blasting off. PM 2.5 being created, but here a 5.1. We're the big quakes. Out here, this is owned by Portugal. If I could live anywhere, it'd be the Azores Islands. For $3,000, you can live in the nicest high-rise in the nicest world. Owned by Portugal here, a small country next to Spain. And then Iceland with over 200 volcanoes. It looks like we have 4 instead of our regular 2. 2 in minor eruption, 2 awakening. 2 awakening. Now, what is this? James told y'all this would happen. My first day on the channel, I said, well, it's only because I read the Bible or I've read it so many times, I'd like to throw it. As the 7 armies surround Jerusalem and surround Israel. They used Jerusalem because Israel really, I don't think, was a state at the time. There'll be a great earthquake, probably associated with a great volcano right here in the Aegean Sea. We have never seen any swarms or anything like this until 2 months ago, perhaps. They'd always be over here at, God, I can't believe these aren't going off. We got Etna's going off. We got Stromboli. They're always going off. There's one right here that's actually the most active. But we had never seen anything like this. And if you read the Bible, it says, and sheath, I'm going to translate, sheath, don't turn to get your blouse or your coat. Run for the highest mountain. Well, what that means is there's a tsunami created. You can see the plate boundaries coming through here. You can see the other plate boundary here. All the volcanic islands. Is every island volcanic? Of course every island's volcanic, okay? Of course. This is the only way to get into Russia and the Black Sea is through Istanbul, the capital of Turkey right there. Talk about power. Cyprus is where all the CIA runs all their bases. British Air Force runs all their bases. All the servers of information are kept on me and you. But really, Israel is their target. And God is supposed to take this before Israel gets wiped out. And, well, we all know it. We've all read it with me, right? Supposed to drown those mofos. All right. We could or could not have. Please watch my video from earlier. First off, I don't make numbers up. I get them from general sources that are, not ragdolls. I try to. So if my 70% was high, remember, the propaganda is coming from both ways on this Iranian-Israeli war. I'll tell you what, I watched with my people last night on a marathon for 10 hours and fell asleep for 30 minutes. We watched for 10 hours most of the missiles, I'll say most of them, be missed by the Iron Dome. And it's all up there. I posted it. Y'all go watch it and tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. Kidding. All right, my fault here is really, Tiffany, this one's going to happen when that fault comes to fruition. And it just formed in 12 months. We've never seen. I thought it would take 1,000 years. It's going to push all that energy, and it already is pushing it through the black line. See the black line? That's where they think a fault might form. The blue is where they see a fault forming. The red is where there is a fault. Okay? All right. Now, over to Iran. Iran had more seismic activity than it ever has. That would be, if it was, which if I hit this regularly, I'll go to detailed information. Well, Iran's the only one covering this. They don't give me a shockwave deal. So I could tell y'all if it was just another earthquake, or if it was small, it must have been small, nuclear bomb. They regularly register from about 3.5 to about 4.5. 4.1 really, if you want to get tighter, and when they're tested underground, and they're the only organization that's reporting it. They have not released the actual, because if I know how to determine it, everyone knows, right? If the first, the initial line is longer than all the other lines in a row, no matter what happens afterwards, it's a nuclear bomb or a bomb. If any line is higher than the initial line in the signature, then you can bet that it's an earthquake. All right, swarm here, Aegean Sea, all the way around, Indonesia into the Philippines, swarming hard here. We have 2 or 3 volcanoes, another one in minor eruption. Look at all these. Look at all these volcanoes and all the magma movement running around this shithole. And then this part of Miramar, I still haven't. Now, I will say, see how the red stopped? There's red here, but we gotta make a cut here, and it's not gonna be pretty. And of course, there is the biggest volcano on planet Earth, second biggest in the solar system. But you can see it wiped out a lot last time around. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. The only other place I want to give Deutsch Sense some. I watched this program the other day while I was taking a shower. I just turned it up, and he called for an earthquake of a 6.0 or higher. He called it in Tokyo, and it hit right about here. And I wanted to test him, and he nailed it, man. It was a 6.1, I think it hit yesterday. He nailed it, man. You can't nail anything closer than that. Time-wise, also, and I think that I have a better presentation, or we both add to the presentation, but also guessing the magnitude of it with his prehistoric, I'll call it prehistoric method, is amazing. All right, there's holes in both these plates here. What is this? Pacific, North American, Euro-Asia, Indonesian plate. I'm giving you all the easy names. They're really not those plates, but you can see all the swarms happening around Japan. Look here in Fukushima, still getting hit. Weird activity in Fukushima, and there's still pouring over 1 million gallons of radioactive water into the Pacific. I think that this will be I guess the whole world's going to be radioactive, because they've been doing it for 11, 12, 13 years. They keep throwing 1 million in and throwing 1 million out every day. And I quit eating my cod and all my favorites, my crab, and my cod is really my favorite. All right, Russian Peninsula, look how many volcanoes are going off. This part of it goes right over to Hawaii. There you go, Kilauea. We just looked at it. A lot of magma movement here. We have 2 new offshores here. I think it was 81. It could have been more. That is not going to work. Black to red with that kind of bend. Two in minor eruption. Aleutian Islands, we know that one well. Aleutian Islands. Croven, we haven't seen that one, but Great Sicken we see often. Is that Mount Spur, or is the other one? That's Katmaya in minor eruption. Spur. Not erupting at all. Spur. It's awakening, though. And all this stuff, it's going to be a lot more, easier to see on another map. I want y'all to see Zealandia down here. Nothing in Australia. I think my friend here. But Zealandia, this continent right here, watch my outline. It is rising out of the water. I don't know if they're doing it or what's going on. This is up in Tonga and Fiji, and this is the continent here. New Zealand is making a play for everything you see in light blue right here, which is huge, saying that they're a continent. This is their continental shelf. Well, that would mean their continental shelf was 5 times larger than their continent. So that's in NATO court right now. And look at the line. Don't forget, we always have Erebus shooting off thousands, millions of dollars worth of gold every day. And we have White Island volcano, which we also have. See if we can get to it. White Island volcano. But we've seen at least 10 volcanoes erupt between here and Tonga over the last few years. All right. This only for Tiffany. Station 3 here, Tiff. We have a problem with. I don't know what the damn problem is, but y'all see where 3 is located. This is Yellowstone here. Are you watching, Tiff? Watch. What in the hell happened for, I guess that's 1 hour exactly? How's that possible? And that's the depth? What happened? This would be one of the biggest earthquakes to ever hit Yellowstone, but it doesn't show up on anything. I found it. Again, it's right where 3 is. So it's way down here. We regularly see pressure on 1, 2, and 11, and 5 and 7, right? 3 is down here out of the way. I don't know if this is catching a bigger quake, maybe a worldwide quake, which we didn't have. But this is a huge signature line on the seismogram in Yellowstone. You would think a 7.0 hit Yellowstone, but they've reported nothing, as I will show y'all. That would be the biggest one I ever saw. Look at this huge one we just had. A 3.5 right there. Dr. Joey, if you're listening, headed your way right down the one day, the one day Fuco. One day Fuco. All right, we're into the USGS. What a wonderful place to be. Now, I want everyone to know that we're always taking call-ins, but I think Tiff, this place next to Yellowstone, it might be the same caldera, but to me, this is Yellowstone caldera, and this is Snake River caldera, where Evel Knievel jumped, and I think Mary's getting them mixed up, and she points down here, and this is craters of the moon here. You can see it says craters of the moon. I don't make this up. I've been doing this for, maybe she's been doing it for a lot more years, but there's a difference. Trust in that. I believe that that's probably the northwestern extent of Yellowstone. Getting very little information there. And these aren't huge either. So we'll blow that off. We'll go up to Mount Spur, Mount Hayes, where they think all the aliens are. Pat Price, dead in 3 days after he put his report in about Mount Hayes. All you got to do is wiki it, Pat Price. There's another Pat Price who was a hockey player, but wrong guy. This was the Navy's #1 remote viewer. Died 3 days after he told his wife. One day after he told his wife he had been stuck by somebody with a needle at the airport in Las Vegas. Here we are on the Wanda Fuco. Let's see where we are here. Amboy, Washington, which is going to be Mount St. Helens. That's the top peak of Mount St. Helens. That is Rainier, St. Helens, Adams, Hood. I mean, who knows the geology? Tell me, baby, who knows the geology? All right, we've explained our way this. Boy, this is interesting. It's Fuke. It's still not high enough. It's getting close to high enough, but not enough to scare me yet. All right, let's go ahead and go into, hopefully everyone knows what the Calpine Geothermal Center is. That's going to be over in or near Clear Lake. It's in the Clear Lake Volcanic Range, which is circled by about 14 volcanoes. This is called Cobb Mountain. Here it has a geothermal unit or plant with 19 wells drilled into the magma itself, very, very shallow depths. This is the middle of the volcano. This is the Clear Lake City over here. They have earthquakes all day long. And to work there or probably even live here, you got to be real used to earthquakes. I've seen as many as 89. I've seen as few as 12. But most of the time it's in the higher end. So if you work there, and they have thousands of workers there, different jobs, cooks, accountants, 100 million different jobs. It's the biggest geothermal plant in the nation after the one in Iceland melted. I'm glad they got those guys off there in the last second. It was like less than a second. I bet his boot was rubber, wet glue. All right, two numbers. conspiracy theory. If I saw this, good, not a good distance, Dustin. If I saw this, Dustin, you could be enjoying PM 2.5 that's escaping for the cavern, just like everybody here and everybody in Long Valley Caldera, everybody in Taos. Does anyone want to join me and guess? All right, 0 money for Kathy, 77. Tiffany, 44, and she won't work there either. I need the 450 grand. I need the 450 grand, okay? What are water pills? Is that some kind of drug y'all are doing now? What the? I'm going to guess $450,000 and 37. $25. I might have still won. I still won. You guys are dupes. All right, water pills. Can we call and talk to you about those? Talk about a good show. Talk about a good show. I'd rather talk about your water pills than almost anything. I water fasted for 7 days, and tomorrow I'll go into another water fast, no liquor or food whatsoever, only water for 7 more days. So you don't even know what a water fast is, girl. It doesn't even start hitting you till day 3. And I'm not real good going live. I'm more technical if I'm on a water fast. That means no food, no liquor. I get a little grumpy. But yeah, I've already, me and my dad had a bet, $1,000 bet. He was out the first day, gave me $1,000. I went on for 7 days. Actually, I cooked dinner that night, and it made me, just looking at it, throw up, as y'all will see after 7 days. And I ended up throwing it away, but I had a bite of it. And then the next morning, I started eating again. All right, what's all this doing down here? This is where I'm just going to make it easy right now. North American plate boundary meets the Pacific plate boundary. Yes, there's a break in it right here. And yes, these are all volcanoes here. Yes, there's a volcano off Catalina Island right here. And all this has to do with the North American and Pacific plate breaking into what's called only the best. They've tried to hide it. What is it called? Does anyone know? Walker Lane fault line. The biggest fault line that look, if you turn faults on, they don't even map it. They don't even map it for y'all. And there's even Walker Lake right there. They don't even map it. They hate you people. They hate me. This definitely has CO2 and carbon monoxide and PM 2.5 coming out of Monaco Lakes. This is the backside of Mammoth Mountain here, okay, Yosemite National Park. And this is deadly. The few people that have wandered back here have died of, some have not, of carbon monoxide, methane, etc. This is going to be Walker Lane Lake. Watch. Walker Lake. Papa don't lie. coming through the block and everything is flying. I was going to buy a rickshaw. I saw some old man get beat up and taken for his rickshaw. Of course, I'd have a machine gun with me, a small one, but it's all fracking, guys. I'm drilling every one of these places currently. That's in New Madrid. Nothing going on in the east. Let's take a look at fires. My gosh. Canada is on fire. And, I mean, it's spreading fast. And they've gotten a lot of, all the Northwest Territories on fire, parts of Alberta, British Columbia, into Nunavut. How do I do? Nunavut. All the way into, nothing in Manitoba right now. Ontario, we have a couple of large fires. Ottawa, Quebec, that's a hard one. Nunavut. Obviously over here in British Columbia. Remember, they're closed here in the U.S. 17,000 acres coming from Nunavut. No. Coming from Canada here, these fires. Where do we have big ones here? Well, you know what? They've had so much snow that everything's going to be, 100%. I already know before looking. Before I look, it's all going to be controlled. Let's see what's happening down here. Oh, I don't like that. All right, let's hit this one first. All right, 1,500 acres in a red flag zone, 0% contained. It's going to be ugly. 12,000 acres, 0% contained in a yellow burn. 33,000 acres burned, 0% contained. Do y'all know what kind of property this is? Sit for brains. Try 7. I want to go 40 because that's what Jesus was telling you in the Bible. You need to do a 40-day fast to clean yourself. But you need water, and that's about it, man. I don't think you need all these minerals and shit. I'm sure everyone can say, oh, I feel so dizzy, I'm going to pass out. You know what? After 3 days, you don't even think about food. It takes about 3 or 4 days, but then you turn against food. And your whole life changes, by the way. Remember, the mice that they restricted to 600 calories lived to be 300 years old in human years. The mice that they gave, and this is 3 different studies that I've taught you about. The mice that were given everything they wanted to eat lived to be about 67 years old. So we must be getting everything we want to eat. Bunch of fat pigs. See what we got up here? Also contain so much water and ice is up here. We got a decent fire down here in Miami. All right. Look, this is our firms. This is GOES satellite. If you don't know, via NASA. And you can see that we do, just like the map says, have that fire right here. But nothing, and it's not really giving us information on any of the fires elsewhere, but we can see that British Columbia, all of Alberta, Saskatchewan, see, Manitoba. Let me see if I can get it. Nunavut. Most of the fires were situated in the Northern Territory just 1 week ago. Everything's moving south. All the way over to Manitoba And Ontario is heating up too. No major fires according to our GOES satellite. And really, see these red strips? See these red strips? That's our brand new satellite. How could you put up a satellite to determine heat and only measure? I guess that's probably 1,000 miles. Is that 1,000 miles? I don't know, 500 miles. And only measure and have to have it keep going over Earth. It goes, you can see it here. See red, red, red. You can do it here too. Anywhere, it works. All right. Let me get rid of, I don't need that, of course. So where y'all see the holes, that's going to be 0 degrees. That's going to be the equator. No fire will burn on the equator, and I sure the hell don't know why. Right? Sure wish I knew why. Sure wish I knew why, but I sure can't tell you. All the fires out are in South America. All the fires, well, we do have fires in Mexico, it looks like here. This is that, God, what is the satellite called? It's the brand new one. See that red line that goes through there? Landsat? It's Landsat something 5 or something like that. And you can see the red lines. Almost all the rainforest is out now. Must be raining. We just listen. We just sent $10 billion to Brazil, who hates us. They're a dictator. A conservative won the election. They put him in prison, right? Trump stamped it, sent the $10 billion to save the rainforest. But you know what put it out? The rain did. And I don't mean man-made rain either. It's sad. We're the 10 billion, where the B go. The 10 billion. It goes out every year at this time. We all know that. Was that just another setup? Another setup? We've had about enough setups, guys. Now I can see the 0 coming through here. There's a lot of fires in this the small populated area of China here. This is what we're getting from Landsat in Russia here. And Madagascar is always on fire. This is, well, as little as I've ever seen on fire from Madagascar, period. And I see the tips of Australia are catching fire. By that I mean the northern tips, closer to the equator, where all the fires burn more easily. I wish I knew more about the equator, and, well, maybe I should do some work. All right, air quality, guys. Where are y'all located? If y'all are in El Paso, that's a national site. Remember, and they toned it down quite a bit and hit it. 36% increase in lung cancer percentages with just 10 AQI PM 2.5. 10, not 124. They tell you, oh, it's okay, just get out there and get some. Here we've got a 1.6, whoa, bunch of dead farmers. Can see the fires that they've outlined here. This one's been turned off. That should always worry you. And then when there's a blue box, it should always worry you. Because that means they've got shit they don't want you to see. Look at this. 770. What, are we having a nuclear explosion there or what? A nuclear explosion there or what? What is this orange thing next to us? Is this just a fire? I've never seen orange like this. You won't tell me what it is. Huh. PM 2.5 is the deadliest particulate known to man. Smallest. It will pass through the blood-brain barrier and give you a stroke, give you a heart attack, etc., according to the World Health Organization and several other authorities greater than me. But always interesting. Alright, and then of course, LA. It's all fires. Set fire to Los Angeles. I mean, can you imagine? The big circles are the only federal and state buildings, and they're at 60, 62, 70, 63, new little system. Then we have some state systems here, a little bit closer to San Diego, that are doing much worse. Much worse. Look at that. That's being caused by the volcanic islands offshore here, like Catalina. All right, PM 2.5. This is from the fires that we see up there. This is from both the fires and the volcanoes we see here. I'm going to put it in roll. We can roll through Thursday, and we'll see where the PM 2.5 hits. I want to call out first that it seems really heavy in the upper Central Valley here into the Great Lakes. Everything I've seen it. Let's get a number. 19, so that's twice as many as 10, right? And then up here at New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, really high. Of course, where there. These are the things I could read that causes PM 2.5. Wildfires, right? Volcanoes, right? Heavy, they call it heavy industrial and nuclear. Those are the only four I can find. Now somehow it's starting in the sand over here, which really bothers me, but it's not in any of the, well, if I studied it, that would not be taught. Let's run this. It's right. Mike, lots of love. Lots of love. Win one for me, brother. Mike plays my same golf, but he's gotten further than me. We're close as shit, but he's further than me. And y'all can see the PM 2.5 and how it migrates. You can see that Anchorage, Alaska, 50% of the people in Alaska live in Anchorage. Everyone thinks that my footage is bullshit from Tel Aviv, but I took every picture. I didn't stop with one of them. I did 7 different searches. Y'all should know me. I bet that Israel's lying. Israel's lying because they don't want y'all to know that their Iron Dome sucks. And who wants to spend $10 trillion on a new dome for us? What's going to be called the Golden Dome? Fuck Trump. You know, where are the Epstein files? Why hasn't the Ukraine war been stopped? What are you doing intercepting missiles in between Iran and Israel? I could do this all day long, okay? So this is still going. Lots of love. Wow, I have never seen so many supercells in all my life. tonight or tomorrow might be a shit show. I'm going to upgrade this, but look, these are all supercells. These are all supercells. Right? Alright. Let's see if they're still there. They're even worse now. That's flash flooding. That might be a tornado. Supercells off Corpus Christi coast. Wow. Let's get over into that national forecast. Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, and that is for today. That's the 15th, so that's no good. 16th, it's going to be much higher in the Central Plains, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, and it's the tip of North Dakota. That's in the hurricane warning zone. And then Tuesday, Central Plains, Kansas, Dorothy, Colorado, Kansas, a little bit of Oklahoma maybe, Indiana and Missouri, maybe Illinois, but it will be headed that direction. If not by Tuesday, by Wednesday. All right. It is. Tiffany, why don't you call in? I'm going to call you again and see if you'll pick up. Hey Siri. Call Tiffany Hartman on speakerphone.
Calling Tiffany Hartman on speaker.
What'd you come for? What'd you come for? I'm afraid to ask. She won't pick up. Tiffany Hartman, you talk to me 100 times a day. Should be ashamed of yourself. It's Father's Day. I'm a father.
Your call has been forwarded to an
On Mother's Day, I call and wish you a happy Mother's Day. All right, we get a lot of days. The reason I picked, hey, Daniel, love you, man. I did get to spend all day with my daughter. I was stoked about it. You know, I'm a 50% owner, if that's such a thing. You had to put it like that. But, you know what? She's doing her own thing. She hates her mom. They were in there yelling. She came in and kissed me, and, you know, totally different relationship. We respect each other, and I'll have my dad in next week. Maybe he'll say howdy on the live. Maybe he won't. But I appreciate you, Daryl, and laugh out loud. I'm tired. Tiffany, you called me a quitter for being tired when I couldn't even get any internet. I wasn't even tired. The reason I use this model, guys, is because it takes the wind so many days in advance. Let's do it. These are fronts. You can see what's happening in the ocean. See what's happening everywhere. Looks like we might have a subtropical low forming over the next 3 or 4 days. I'm going to have to pick y'all up right into the Gulf. I can see it hitting Houston. Gosh, let me look at the days. My dad flies in for a couple of weeks. He's staying at my house. Gosh, on the 22nd. Hopefully, well, there's more coming. being hit over here on the east. Look, northeasterly, it's the 1-2-3 punch. The 1-2-3 punch. Dale, why don't you ever call in? Cherry, you don't know me very well, do you? You must not know me at all. Alright, align and divine. Best way to be. Lots of love. We did have one tornado today. Right on Route 87 in Montana. It's the only one we had. 87 doesn't look like a major route, but it goes right into Billings. It's a major route. Oil and gas boy like me's been up that road before. And that's way high, way high. All right, what else we got going on? Well, we have a post-tropical depression. Delia. Post-tropical depression. It's probably going to peter out. Let's see what we've got here. 35 mile per hour winds, 1,004 millibars, which is not bad. 9 miles per hour. There must be something, I don't know, pushing this. Here, 80% chance of formation over the next few days. And this could be, well, a possible impact, either Mexico or the Gulf of California, the Gulf of America. Long live the Gulf of America, right? That's what I'm talking about. All right, so, and have I showed y'all the Shun residence yet? I don't know if I have, so I might as well. Alright, we've had no atmospheric problems. That equates into, well, a little bit of action down low, but nothing. Well, here we see something that occurred today. I'm guessing if we flip over, we'll see 4 hours ago that, of course, a thunderstorm came through. Alright, we are there, and there it probably was, guys. That's a big one, too. And they are, look, they are feeding these thunderstorms. This is a pulse. You see the pulse here? Pulse into the thunderstorm here, and then they're actually feeding it with barium and silver oxide, which turns into this brown stuff once it passes over. So we'll play this. The brown comes out. We didn't get to see the black. Oh, there's the black. Wait, we do get to see it. We do get to see it. Let me show you how they feed it. Right here, black, 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 barium and silver oxide. And we have 4 commercials from the companies that do this. It's not like it's a big secret or nothing, right? Except for Noah says that we don't know how to control the weather yet. Okay, Noah. Well, this company just made $100 trillion last year seeing the weather. Can you help us explain? As y'all can imagine. All right. Sorry. Where's the exe file? Where's the exe file? Well, I didn't prepare for that, so we'll do another night. But lots of love to everyone. Hopefully everyone got their fill. And if anyone has anything they want me to look up, well, it's early for me, as y'all know. That was the deadliest plane crash ever? That looked like child's play. 14 hours ago? No, the little black boys, they can't help themselves. Netanyahu would not speak in English, which really pissed me off. Because I know he speaks English perfectly. Let's do Israel, and let's do latest. Let's see, because you know what? Iran. They said they were going to hit him with the real shit tonight, and that was a joke last night. So if so, let's see, 13. I'll do latest. They said they'd hit him with the hypersonics tonight. Oh, car bombs in Tehran. It's all infiltrated by Mossad, just like the US. Don't start your car unless you have to. Oh, God. Everyone said it was no big deal. It was no big deal. Israelites heading for shelter, bomb shelters. You know, the only country that did not build bomb shelters for their people it's going to be here in the USA. They spent all that money on themselves. And if I'm sound mad about it, it's because I am. We'll see if they're really going to hit them with hypes tonight. Whew. No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Jeez. Golly. Those are all bombs headed. Jeez. I'd hate to even mess with those things. Those are all headed to, well, Iran. We know that. Can y'all even imagine? I'm not on either side of this conflict. I'm really more on the Palestinian side than the Jewish side because of the way it got started. I'm a man of principle, so I think they should have all been happy with what they had, but that never happened, did it? Look at that. It's one of the oil refineries up. I've seen pictures of that. People just film it. God, that's one of the biggest cities I've ever seen, and I've seen some big ones. And they already told us that half of what we're looking at is going to be fake now. What a great deal we have to go with. Half of what we're looking at is going to be fake. So we have no idea. And so I have to mark, she seems nice though. Israel actually bombed Yemen's international airport today. That was kind of tough, I won't lie. Based on the rules they've been fighting by now, that was kind of tough. Southern Lebanon. They must think ground forces are next. Ground forces must be coming next. Boy, Israel, they should have made a lot more bombs. They're supposed to get hit tonight by the good stuff. Now again, this reminds me of, can y'all believe that's Gaza? That was a subdivision 2 years ago, before they had to pull off that crazy October 7th bullshit that anyone would think was crazy. Golly. Anyone would think it. Well, gas is going so far up. It's at $2.40 today. I went and filled up, baby. Filled up. Let's go see what's trending. Tiffany, you want to call in? Man, awful. Father's Day. God, there she is. Look, Mary Beth.
Many are going to take place in a given day, but the real solution of all of this is for the administration to stop the raids. We have heard that these raids might take place for the next 30 days. We don't know how many are going to take place in a given day. And you just think about the disruption to families and the disruption to our local economy. But the real solution of all of this is for the administration to stop the raid.
The next 1,200, 1,500 days. Bass, that's what we're talking about. That's what I voted for. Can y'all believe Trump chumped us out and said, well, we're not going to go after farm workers, or he named 3 different deals. Can anyone tell me what they were? You wanted to go just shoot him. Look, it does. The glass of water doesn't even float. This is how shitty these people are. The computer doesn't float. Oh, this is the fake. This is the fake Chinese space station. They're not thinking ahead. Fake-o. It's a fake Chinese space station. This is so crazy. They forgot that you can't have computers. I mean, they're like basic fuck-ups here. Fake. Vanessa, we're looking at the fake Chinese space station. See the glass of water and the computer sitting here be floating. Tiffany, can you see the glass of water here that's not floating? Somebody here has got to wake up. Do you have Vril in you? Vril. How is that water and the computer just sitting there? This one could be that. Who is Vanessa? I don't know who the fuck she is. Vanessa, what do you think? Should the water in zero gravity be standing there? Yeah, I have a... Y'all actually, not on my end, y'all have a... Well, if they're mad at me, which they usually are, 90-second delay. If they're not, 0 seconds. If they're medium mad at me, 60 seconds. That's the delay. Can anyone believe this is happening? They totally forgot about the water and the fact that that's not how it would work. Yep, hotel work. Oh, God. I can't. Jeff Nix, I love you, man. Good to see you. I can't believe they brought up hotel workers when Trump owns nothing but hotels. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And are lawn people going to be next identified as farm workers? Right? I know all the little plans that Trumpy has in plan. Now, I voted for him. I'm dumb as a rock. It's like you people. This one does not look like it is. The water and this pin that he just stuck up here. See the pin. And don't make me laugh any harder. They must, and you can see how his suit's being pulled up. See the left shoulder? They got him fixed up. And what they do is I did 39 stories on this, and YouTube took them all down. I had caught him where you could see the wire. See his shirt right here? Pull that wire. You can see the wire pulling them and stuff. They're not doing it enough, I don't think. Don't know what she's doing. Nanu. What is that light on her belt? Whatever this is, it looks like he brought his crack pipe up with Hunter. I don't know. It took me 2 years and 39 videos, and I had busted him 39 times, guys. Big time. I'm the biggest buster. They took them all from me. You know, they went onto my computer and took them off too, because those are videos I would have never gotten rid of. I had the receipts of all the times they faked it. NASA, I'm probably the only person to ever live that's gotten struck by NASA before. I got struck by NASA because they said they were doing 27,000 miles an hour through the atmosphere, and I noticed how their boots and hands weren't vibrating or shaking, and how they had full reach and the ability to raise their hands. And all I did was ask about it 400 times. I In other words, they weren't going into space. Do y'all see him being pulled up by his thing right here? It's sad. You forgot your fucking water? In China, someone might get killed over this shit, right? Peru 6.0. We're there. Dun dun. 5.6. I think we already covered it. Spank. Did you see that? That's what this this video is about. Oh, we never know what it's about. Just me making up shit like this water and this crack pipe sitting here. And it does look like they've been smoking. I can't even show you all that. Terrible. Look, none of Israel has been destroyed. Everyone told me, and one of the people called me from Israel, probably Mossad today. It was international, so I picked up. I didn't know. And they said, look, I live in Tel Aviv, and not more than 25 to 30% of the city has been destroyed. I'm thinking, well, you're admitting to a lot here. Is that much of the city been destroyed? When I put 70%, I put a question mark behind it and knew that Grok was coming behind me with AI to figure out if it was real or false. Trust me, no one got to, well, everyone thinks that, and Israeli did build tunnels for all their citizens, but it's hard to get there. Not everyone gets there, okay? Not everyone gets there. And I don't like this guy at all. This is tonight. What are these? Let's see if they're stopped. Nope. Why is the Iron Dome not working? Did they hack it? Or what the hell? Look, what's this one? Did they hacked it, didn't they? Every single old time ballistic missile from 20 years ago is getting through. I used to see, look, there's another one. Boom. I used to see this thing take out like 100 in a minute. And some of the smarter ladies out there questioned, why is the Iron Dome not working? You know, I'm sure it's on the internet. And anything on the internet, well, we all know it has glitches. Good old times in Seattle. What? Hey, anybody in the Seattle kind of mood? Gotta love a good night. This is a regular night in Seattle, though. I love bear spray. He hit half of his own officers. Bear spray is really a good, well, add it to the night, and you're talking about good times in Seattle, Washington, right? And y'all quit kidding on me, because I know what good times are. Look at this. Oh gosh, nothing's being stopped. Nothing. Not one, man. They don't want y'all to know what's going on in Israel, so they make me look bad. So what did I do? I went in there and gave everyone my source. If y'all don't realize they're hitting any and everything they want to, including residential neighborhoods, y'all don't understand what's going on. I've seen that. Uh-oh. Is that Matt Wallace? It must have been Matt. Matt is the guy that said that 67% of Matt. I've got Flight Trader, but all right, let's go to Flight Trader for a second. All right. See if we can pick up some of the bombers. The bomber's headed over. I'm pretty good at the shape of the plane. More than pretty good, I won't lie to you. These are all Lear jets. Lears. I see no military jets. Not available. It's CIA plane. Right there. You just found a GLF-6, Gulfstream 6. And let's see where he took off from. Oh. Now he's turning south. Look. See where he took off from? Houston, Texas. We're running it deep. We're running it deep here, baby. Damn right it was Houston. Alright, let's look for anything military. They have different shapes, actually. Most of the military planes. And when you hold your hand over it, you can actually tell if it's a military jet. And where would they be going? Look, not available. CIA. Not available. Where's they coming from? Where's they? Ooh, just offshore there, the Zora. I'm looking for. That's United Airlines. I know them all. Delta Airlines there. Or ARG. Is that American? Or no, Aerolíneas, Argentina. So you have to know the tail numbers, but usually it's easy to spot. God, this N500H over. Who owns this thing? Private owner. Must be the rich. We didn't even know that was a country, sir. Coming in from Casablanca. Must be the good life, baby. Could you imagine him in your pool? More, look, on the side. Coming out of where? Is it Cyprus? It's Cyprus, isn't it? I told y'all, our biggest CIA fortresses and all of our data is run out of Cyprus. I don't know where he's headed, but that's how it rolls. Alright. So, if anyone wants to see anything else, I'll take a look. I'll never get on a plane again either. I flew for 30 straight years. The last 6 years, I was able to get somebody, my young replacement, to fly for me. And he loved it, man. After 30-something years of hotels and planes, and I call them weekend warriors and shit, that was it for me, man. I've almost died twice. Almost died twice in plane crashes. But almost, I mean, everyone was taken off in ambulances afterwards, and the luggage things came open, and, you know, the good kind. Oh, look, we missed the fake SpaceX footage. No gods or kings, only men. This is only CGI, baby. Who believes that? God, if y'all believe that. Look, watch this. This happened today. It would have went boom, pow, boom. Imagine how much liquid nitrogen is still in that thing. Probably the funniest thing I've ever seen them try to... They figure if y'all are going to bite on this, y'all are going to bite on anything they put out there, right? If y'all are going to bite on that, Y'all will bite on anything they put out there, right? I heard some YouTube channel fell asleep last night. Did y'all hear anything like that? Peter Thiel, baby. That's the real owner of PayPal, the real owner of everything. Those are European plates, actually. Yeah, French. Papa knows. Look, oh God. So, you never know where to go.
The world's been trying to do that, but
you know, we can't stop these guys because their shit's mobile. And once they fire, they're gone.
aren't about to voluntarily give up these weapons. The world's been trying to do that. President Obama tried to do that. President Biden tried to do that. President Trump made a good faith effort these last 3 months to get the Iranians to change their ways. They clearly continue to develop their enrichment capability, their ballistic missile program, all the elements.
That's bullshit. I played it back. I ain't talking no shit. Cherry Burr, you're so hateful.
That held Israel and the United States at risk. And when they wouldn't negotiate, they now face the wrath of Israel. And as President Trump has said, if they come after Americans, he'll face the wrath of the United States of America as well. That is not a conflict in which the Islamic Republic of Iran has any chance of prevailing. They aren't about to voluntarily give up these weapons.
That was when I was awake. That was when I was awake. Look, I want to ask what is a YouTuber? What does a YouTuber do about something like this? This has been one of our best subscribers. It's been one of our best subscribers here for 5 years. Hey, Kyle, God bless you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. Best Michael McIntosh and his family have all subscribed. Look at him. Do y'all recognize him? It's his son. Listen what they sent me. And I don't know unless I'm supposed to make it. I don't know how to get it. Unless I'm supposed to make it known. James. If I die, it's from radiation poisoning. And my mom was part of it. You gotta realize this is the most level-headed person that's ever subscribed to my channel. She was fully aware of it. I tried to discuss it with her, and she basically played it off as I'm crazy. I'm totally sober, so I'm not high either. My body's all beat up. Hold on. Beat red. I'm sweating profusely. Stomach feels weird. It's probably the 5G. Stomach feels weird, and there's a ringing in the ears. The damn Nicholas Schumacher guy and her and his cahoots. So, if I die, what's up? My room, I bet, has high radiation levels too. And I am, if I'm correct. My name is Michael McIntosh. Michael, we've known you for over five years. From Ottawa, Iowa, age 41, CIA psychic, 2015 to present. If I die, it's because of the sex trafficking ring in Ottawa, Iowa. It's sick and evil. They do terrible things to kids, and they take out anyone that wants to, and they also eat stuff. They killed me because of my ex Stacy Boatman is wrapped up in the trade. they have about killed her and are now after me. Homemade microwave weapons, which I totally believe. It's most of the town, James, involved. Please make sure they don't get away with this. It's been an honor, sir. Well, how do y'all... I haven't answered his email, but how do y'all answer that one? Anybody? 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 I remember Tiffany's been with us for 5 years, and his son, his wife, I didn't know he was CIA undercover watching me, but so he put, do you think he went crazy? Look, look, the water's not moving, neither is the Pentagon. These people have, look, that's not even moving. They have lost their mind. The people in China must be dumb as rocks. Don't y'all realize we're laughing at you? Either there is space or there isn't space. Here it is over on the US space station. Here it is on the Chinese space station. Which is it? Is there gravity or no gravity? Or, I mean, you don't look like you have a problem moving your hands. You don't have a problem doing anything. Let's see if you're sutured up. You'll have to get rid of the old guy, right? Because he couldn't play long enough. You slimy mofos. Okay, why isn't the water rising? Oh, come on. Look at him. We're dumb as rocks. Can you say he's taking a bong here? Oh my God. What happened to just common sense logic, guys? Y'all gotta realize my chair is heated and it vibrates. So shit, man. It's hard not to go to sleep. Right?
Up these weapons. The world's been trying to do that. President Obama tried to do that. President Biden tried to do that. President Trump made a good faith effort these last 3 months to get the Iranians to change their ways. They clearly continue to develop their enrichment capability, their ballistic missile program, all the elements that held Israel and the United States at risk. And when they wouldn't negotiate, they now face the wrath of Israel. And as President Trump has said, if they come after Americans, he'll face the wrath of the United States of America as well. That is not a conflict in which the Islamic Republic of Iran has any chance of prevailing.
So I read every comment, and y'all are so correct. And even NASA and NOAA put out, I can show y'all warnings tomorrow if I have time, about what the solar radiation does to you. I mean, we're basically being killed alive. Killed alive, man. Don't think we're not, is the funny part. Look at him. Touch the wire. Zzz, dead. He touched it. Ooh, he still lived. That should have been called dumb people. It's always such a pleasure to be on.
Individuals paid bribes in exchange for skipping critical safety evaluations. The investigation also led us to arrest 5 additional individuals who are acting as brokers running businesses that claim to assist with immigration paperwork, but instead arranged illegal transactions and funneled aliens from as far away as Miami to obtain licenses fraudulently. Let me be clear that putting untested, unqualified drivers, those with commercial licenses, on our roads is an unacceptable risk to every family in the state. These licenses were essentially sold, not earned.
Get
That
'em.
means we have individuals on the road, possibly operating tractor trailers, who never demonstrated the basic skills to do so safely. It's not a paperwork issue, it's a direct threat to highway safety and a betrayal of the public trust. The scope of this investigation: yesterday we seized over $120,000 in illicit proceeds tied to this operation. Evidence suggests that hundreds, if not more than 1,000 fraudulent driver's licenses were issued as part of this scheme.
1,000.
It's been ongoing for over 2 years, and this investigation is continuing to be ongoing and will expand statewide as we work to identify those who receive licenses illegally and hold all parties accountable. Each license issued could result in felony criminal charges for the license holder, and our investigation will be expanded by our state partners to hold these individuals accountable. A search warrant was executed
Are y'all
yesterday at a
bothering me
business in
now?
Callaway called Cuba Max, which is involved in processing immigration documents.
All I do
Again,
is
I want to
find a
commend the
dude and get
outstanding
rid of you.
teamwork and partnership of our investigators, and some multi-agency effort with close coordination between law enforcement, the tax collector's office, and other state and local partners. This is the kind of teamwork it takes to root out corruption and protect our citizens. I'd also like to commend our tax collector, Chuck Purdue. As soon as he was made aware of this investigation, he became an investigator himself. He worked with us closely to make sure that these individuals were held accountable. Certainly a difficult situation when it.
We'll say it one way. Low hanging fruit. What about the real criminals? It's gotten ridiculous. Do I have to hold up a sign in front of, Fox News for 2 weeks? Ridiculous, low-hanging fruit. What about the real criminals? It's not like we're dumb. Y'all think we're dumb or something? What game is that? Oh my god, that was great. What game is this? You don't have to bounce the ball? No, what's good about, not bouncing the ball? And you don't have to kick the ball either. You get to use both hands and just run and throw it in. There's 100% chance that I could run and throw it in. Look at those hands. You don't have to be all fancy. Just throw it at her head. She'll duck. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. I can't see most of it. Undeserved glory, or whatever we call it. Honor. Forbidden honor. Please, son, no. No. It's the same old. They'll shoot me the same stuff until I play it or listen to it. The sheriff's deputy was, look, like that's something. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. 2 volcanic rocks, one cured on top of each other. 2 days in between explosions. Golly. Alright, I'm heading off. I'm going to the all-night breakfast buffet. There's so many fun people. What's he gonna do? Does this look like a good idea? Oh God. And that's gonna be something that makes viral. A bunch of Indians jumping in a rubber pool. Now, if that kid makes a strike, it's a different thing, man. See, I mean, shoot. Barely can hold that thing, man. I've seen Tiffany Bowl, and that's what it looks like. Right, Tiff? Look, the cars carrying Iran's nuclear scientists and IRGC elite have started simultaneously exploding. Oh wow! In Tehran, looks like Mossad still has a few tricks up its sleeve. I bet they do, Panama Red. I bet they do. I wouldn't want to take them on. It's always great times. Oh, let's listen to a new press. He must have taken his own life. This is 9 hours ago. I think we heard this. Where is he? What happened? He had no car and he was in a lot subdivision.
Can you talk a little bit more about the manifesto and what kind of motivation it might be doing? And we're told that there is some crucial warning around the manifesto. Is anything to do with motivation here?
At this point in time, it would be premature. The question was, is the manifesto and the information that we have received, it's the motivations. And we are working diligently on that. There's certainly some indications within that, but there's not specifics enough. We have been, this is a very active and fluid investigation throughout the day as you've been waiting. And
All right, let's see. Wait, I want to show you all the lady in the wheelchair with oxygen mask right here in the middle of everybody. I bet she's there for wonderful reasons. Seattle PD, things are not like they used to be. Did y'all ever wonder how they did that? It's wax. And there's it's like Lucille Ball. If you see one of them coming, it doesn't have the wax on it yet. It's manual still, which is awesome. But how easy would this be to turn into a non-manual job? Or just, I guess you gotta twist it a little bit and get it right. And I guess some of them, like this one, look, you get this jar, cool. You get this one over here. It's got some wax on it, but it's not the real deal, man. Pretty wild. I'll take my whiskey any way I can. Look, there's one of the two biggest losers in the whole world. They won't let me talk on their forums anymore because I called them out. They didn't realize. These people don't realize 634 comments, 235,000 deals. They're hitting it and watching it, and I'm making sure I don't, so that those fools don't get credit for anything. Together, they made over $500,000 last month. Elon, you know what he's paid me? None. But he likes that, right? Likes that. You pretty much can't. What? Look at this. Look, run him over again. Oh, I love this. Those are climate protesters. I probably shouldn't love it. I probably was a little bit too mean. This is Border Patrol car wash. Oh my God! If I had the Border Patrol We could pick up 10,000 people a day if I had just a group of Border Patrol with me. As long as we had a place to put them. We could have groups, taking them back in vans. I know I could do 10,000 a day myself. All right. Look, he's bored watching another chess game, and the chess magician, the 13-year-old kid, whips his butt. He walks around watching other people's game. He's like, man, look. He already knows the plan. The other dude's like, he's wondering who's up next at this point. That's what he's wondering. Look, he wants to see how the board ended up. He understands. He's watching. Like when I count cards, I have to count. It makes the game like I can bring a friend, you just gotta leave me alone. You can drink and get wasted. I just like to win money. I don't like to lose money. But I can't really bring a girlfriend or something unless they know how to play third base or first base or something. I can't bring one. I've been kicked out of over 40 casinos. I tell y'all, when I was 8, my dad made a program that flashed cards on the screen, and if I got the count right, because his computer would tell us, I got like $1. So I'd make $40 in a day. I got to be such a great card counter. Count 6 decks, no problem. You have to realize you can't weigh a count for a deck until it's halfway through. And then usually now, after I've beat them so many times, I've never lost one card game. They shuffle as soon as the deck gets over half. So get a couple of hands in there where you can really get an advantage. About 60-something%, 64. But because of the way they've structured it, you can only get an advantage. So you gonna beat him? Beat that nerd. He's watching those other two, man. It's like, this guy doesn't have shit. This guy doesn't have shit. Well, that sounds fun, Cherry. My dad was the architect on the Beau Rivage, Bellagio. I can show you if you want me to. Wynn Resorts, the redo of the Golden Nugget. And there's what's called an auction room. In all these casinos, all it does is pump 96% oxygen into the room. That's why you can never get drunk. And you can stay up all night. That's why they have no windows. My dad said, this is how we keep it going. So I grew up in the mafiosa, although I'm an oil and gas man at heart. Will he just kick his ass? We're going to go to the end. Let's go to... It's only 21 seconds now. Why did it fuck up? It fucking pisses me off. Never done that before. It's like, dude, you ain't got me. No. Why are we getting something over this? Is that going to be a stealth fighter? we can determine how long ago was this? 1 hour ago. It's gonna be hard to tell where it landed or where it went. All right, keep it going. Keep it going fast. It's ridiculous. Oh, there was no damage.
This is an unprecedented moment for Israel. Again, we've been reporting here on the ground for nearly 7 years. We have seen rocket attacks from Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza, precision-guided missiles coming from Hezbollah.
Shit. Oh no, what was it? I tell you I was right. I'm usually always right. But hey, everyone has a bad day. Where the piss did that dude go? Alright, let's see. It was Fox. Well, that's my bad, not yours. Isn't that you?
Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly...
I used to be a mortgage banker, so I did 2 Indians from Indian casinos using their Indian revenue. This was when I was 19. I was running the 10th biggest mortgage brokerage house in the nation, Sierra Financial. And they were making so much money off just being part of the tribe. Just being part of the tribe. I've been kicked out of all the Louisiana casinos, the ones in Central California, all those Indian casinos, etc. So listen to that for a sec.
openly called for Israel's destruction. They backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before.
But remember, an atom bomb is not a nuclear bomb. You split an atom, you get a nuclei. You split a nuclei, and you got destruction. 1,000 times worse.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000s of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey. This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. Iran is now working on what it calls the new plan to destroy Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire and to attack us with the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country. We crushed Hamas, we devastated Hezbollah, we hit Iranian proxies in Syria and Yemen. And when Iran directly attacked us twice
You just got your ass handed to you.
last year, we struck back inside Iran itself. Yet in defending ourselves, we also defend others. We defend our Arab neighbors. They too have suffered from Iran's campaign of chaos and carnage. Our actions against Iran's proxy Hezbollah led to the establishment of a new government in Lebanon and the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria. The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for a different future, a better future. So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. And Iran plans to give those weapons, nuclear weapons, to its terrorist proxies. That would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing...
Do y'all get it yet? Tiffany Hartman, I wish you would call up more. You should do your own show on my channel called The Tiffany Hartman Show. But you have to sign a lot of contracts. I mean, if you're going to have another born child, you'd have to name it after me.
On the U.S.'s side.
Well, Maria, this week has been extraordinarily consequential, extraordinarily dangerous, and I will say this week was also inevitable. The Ayatollah is a theocratic lunatic. He regularly chants death to America, death to Israel. He is building nuclear weapons because he wants to be able to use nuclear weapons. Now, President Trump drew a very clear red line in the sand. He said on April 12th, he told Iran, you have 60 days to negotiate.
Trump didn't do shit. It's been over 60 days. Trump didn't do shit. Did he stop the wars in the Ukraine? Did he? He wasn't even able to save the Doge money because Congress all had to codify it. His EOs have all been turned over by democratic, I know it's not his fault, democratic judges. Or is it his fault? Is this all just staged for our consumption? That's the real question. Is this all staged for our consumption?
And a coalition of 52 Republican senators, and we all said, we stand with President Trump. President Trump has been clear that the standard for any deal must be complete dismantlement. No centrifuges, no enrichments. There is no reason a theocratic lunatic who chants death to America should have nuclear weapons, the tools to murder millions of Americans or millions of Israelis.
Right.
On the 61st day, the Ayatollah publicly said he would not shut down a single centrifuge. He said he would build more centrifuges. He would make more enriched uranium in order to make more nuclear weapons. That was effectively, Maria, a giant middle finger at President Trump. But it was also a message to Israel, we're not going to stop, and if you don't act...
Trump, as y'all know, or might not know, I don't know if y'all have intel sources like I do, he refused to allow Iran to bomb his home with his children. The leader, The Ayatollah's home. Everyone knows where he lives. They've got minute by minute intel on him. Minute by minute intel. And Trump would not let them go after him. That's weird. Is it, well, and I kind of do understand it. Is it kind of like having someone in place that won't push too hard, but pushes? Kind of like Saddam Hussein? I don't know. But Trump laid down the red line with Israel, and they refused to go after the Shah.
You're going to find out when we've achieved success with a mushroom cloud in the skies of Tel Aviv or New York or Los Angeles. And so Israel acted with extraordinary efficacy. We've seen 720 military strikes across Israel. They have decapitated the top leadership of Iran's military. They've taken out the head of the IRGC. They've taken out the chief of staff of the armed forces. They've taken out multiple nuclear scientists. They've leveled Natanz, which is the chief research area where they're doing much of the enrichment. And Israel is committed to getting the job done. And understand what the job is. The job is to prevent Iran from being able to acquire nuclear weapons. It's not conquering Iran. It's not turning the...
Y'all want to... Well, it's hard to get anything true out. I had a bunch of AI that Grok picked up on, the AI part, out of Iran. And, you know, when I put the 70%, everyone can see that I used one of my sources. It's always been pretty good. And a lot of people, even in Tehran, hey, if it's not gone today, it could be gone tomorrow. One of them said, I live in Tehran. Only 25 to 30% of the town is gone. I'm like, wow, did you just really say that? Did you just really say that 30% of your town is gone? That's how you know it's mumbo jumbo. And it's not by me. I source everything, guys. And I leave it pinned in the first comment if y'all will just look, you lazy pieces of crap. I do this, I find the information, do the stories. Where are my coffees? Someone better buy me a coffee, or I know y'all gonna miss me tomorrow if no one buys me a coffee today. It's funny, I bought myself a coffee today to see if it worked. Of course it works. Nothing but crap. Now YouTube might be distracting it. I don't know. Exactly. Hexophus, that was my point. That was my point. And that Iran claimed that was with their 20-year-old ballistic barrage. They said tonight they would fire hypersonics at their main targets. That was totally my point, Hexophus. Hey, they're here in America too. Y'all walking around thinking y'all all safe? I am fucking gunned up and my head's on a swivel. While I leave the house, I actually bring my gun off my hip and put it on my right. I've got something that holds my gun on my center console. And hey, some dude is drunk. I was looking for a parking space. And he got in there and waited, and he thought it was me. It was someone to my left that beeped. And he came, busted out of his car and came after me. Well, of course. I went for my fucking gun. I'm not going to fight some 28-year-old jackass from Muslim Central, okay?
Them into a democracy. It's taking away their capacity to commit mass murder, and this week they've made enormous progress in getting that accomplished.
And that goal has far and wide implications for the world. How would you assess those?
Sure, let me out all my carry guns.
Well, I would assess them that they're...
I have a bar when I leave. I pick a pocket knife, and I only have the finest. I pick a pistol. I pick a carry option, or depending on what I'm wearing, where I'm going. Even even in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops, I can carry, and nobody but me knows I'm carrying. And I could probably carry my 365 XL in those, but usually I'll carry something different there.
Are enormously beneficial to us, to America. You know, there's a lot of discussion of America First foreign policy, and I emphatically agree with America First foreign policy. This week is a good week for America. Why? Because a very dangerous enemy who has been murdering hundreds of Americans. The Ayatollah has murdered over 600 servicemen and women. He's the chief funder of terrorism across the globe, and he's trying to get weapons to be able to murder not hundreds of Americans.
Open carry is for people with shit for brains, not sit for brains. It makes you a fucking target immediately. Immediately. All of the shooting incidents where the defensive person has won, if you watch them, I've watched over 20,000, all of them are concealed. Because if you put your gun out front, they usually try to steal it. Or you're the first one to be capped in the forehead. You're dumb as shit, Sid for brains. But I love you. But I love you my own way, man.
But millions of Americans. And Israel, a little bitty country surrounded by enemies in the Middle East. Israel is doing an enormous favor to America right now. They're taking out the capability of Iran to strike out at America. And I'll say two things. Number one, Iran would not be in this position if Joe Biden and the Democrats had not spent 4 years flooding over $100 billion into Iran. In a very real sense, Joe Biden and the Democrats funded Iran's terrorism efforts and funded
their nuclear effort.
Number two, I stand unequivocally with
$100 billion from Biden to Iran in the last 3 years. $100 billion. That's your money, not money. My money. Well, mostly it's my money, but I'm saying it's everyone's fucking money, right? Biden gave him really Barack Obama, the person that hates America more than anything in the world. Because he could never be an American. Could never be an American. That makes you hate it. Right? That makes you hate it. I love to think about how much he cringes and how bad he hates. I love to think about it. Maybe I'm a sick bitch, but it makes me smile because Barack Obama's a piece of trash. Trash.
With President Trump. President Trump has said Iran will not get a nuclear weapon and we will do whatever is necessary. And that means we stand unequivocally with the state of Israel. That is where America is. It is where I am. And it's the right place to be for the interest of the United States of America.
So what does that mean for the United States? Does this entangle us in a wider war?
So I don't believe it does. I don't believe there's any scenario where we would see American boots on the ground. I think we are already seeing American logistical help defending Israel in terms of intercepting missiles. Iran is firing wantonly at civilian areas. The Israeli military strikes are very targeted to military locations, nuclear research locations that are trying to build nuclear weapons. Iran is just lobbing missiles into population centers trying to kill as many Jews as they can. And Israel's done a very effective job defending that. The United States has been assisting in defending those civilian populations. And the United States also assists with logistical assistance and assists historically in helping provide weaponry.
Satellite.
That is important. But Israel's military is incredibly effective. They're going to be the ones providing the boots on the ground, and I think that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Senator, do you want to see regime change? Do you think that happens soon? And what would the future look like in that regard?
Look, I think it is very much in the interest of America to see regime change. I don't think there's any redeeming the Ayatollah. He is filled with hatred. You know, I'll tell you a story that's a little bit amazing. The former head of the Iranian nuclear program, a man who many...
Did I ever tell you all the story where I was Ted Cruz's social media director in 2014 and 16. Did I ever tell you all the story where I realized, after being on all their computers all day long, how the money flowed and how it flows and who gets it? Do y'all realize that Ted Cruz works for Chad Sweet, who's a co-owner of Chertoff Group, the biggest receiver of government contracts in the world. We're talking about hundreds of millions, if not trillions of dollars a year. And so they offered me several $100,000 to be Ted's social media guy, because I know all the tricks, okay? Well, what happened is Ted beat his wife up twice after that. She got picked up by DPS, Department of Public Safety Rangers, on Highway 1 after he beat her up and threw her out of the car. I got to live through this, and I decided to go on their computers. Luckily, they didn't pay me one single dollar, because they would have gotten me on some. I wouldn't sign any contracts. They just knew I was the best. I built this channel out in 1 or 2 weeks, the other channel out in 1 week. Y'all got to realize, I do it for fun, man. And now I'm angry. Make someone that does it for fun angry, and you got an enemy, a real enemy. So Ted works for Chad Sweet and Michael Chertoff. It's called the what? Chertoff Group. That's what it's called. And it's worth hundreds of Michael Chertoff is the person that said the Supreme Court didn't leak anything. He couldn't figure it out, right? Well, Michael, there's Chad Sweet right there. There's my best friend Chad. Hey, Chad. Y'all will see. They're using Chad now because they're not as free as me, because YouTube shut me down. I did 1.9 million views a month, and obviously I've been shut down. But can you believe that's who my boss was for no money? Of course, I don't sell out like bitches. Let's see if we can get our team. Let me tell you, read more. Look, again, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, not his first job. They lie so bad, they've changed it so many times. Changed it. All my subscribers know. Federal prosecutor, CIA, DHS secretary right here. But hey, let's keep going. These are the people I work for. I didn't work for them because I didn't take any money. Was a millionaire before my wife took all my money. So here, Chad Sweet actually graduated from high school, went to college. He actually started, he started his whole career. It's all bullshit here. And if you watch any of my old videos, you'll find out Chad Sweet started his whole career as CIA Director of Clandestine Operations. Did you hear me now? CIA Director of Clandestine Operations. And they're going to put it down here somewhere, right? Well, then, let's see, Sweet worked as investment. It's funny. How do you go from a CIA Director of Clandestine to Vice President in New York of Morgan Stanley? This was after graduation at Columbia, of course. It would be that or Georgetown, right? Then he went to work at Goldman Sachs. Who is Vice President of Goldman Sachs right now? Heidi Cruz. The girl that got beat up and left on the highway on my watch. Right? Heidi Cruz. Look, they drop in the back as well as served in CIA. Well, win, put it in order. That's his job coming out of college. CIA's National Clandestine Services. He was a director. He didn't serve. He was a director coming out of college, Columbia. Tired of this shit. Tired of it. And then, look, previously, the Chief of Staff of Mr. Sweet helped Secretary Michael Chertoff manage one of the largest federal agencies with 220,000 people that we didn't need, and they stole billions. Now, what happens with a contract for the new people? Every contract's bid on by both sides of the House, Republicans and Democrats, so they're always dirty. And what Chertoff Group does is they give them the maximum campaign contributions back. I believe it's $1,200, $1,700, and then they give them every contract. What is Chertoff Group? It's over 1,000 strong, and they're all fucking bureaucrats that have gotten kicked out of office for one reason or another. They must be full right now. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna tell everybody the truth, bitches. And hey, Chertoff Group, right? Let me show you some rear admirals. They had General Michael. He died. How about, I know him all. TSA director. You know how they love TSA. I know him. I know him more than he knows me. They won't let me even pick him. All right, let me see. All right, just real quick, TSA director, global TSA director. I don't have to lie because I was there. I lived this. That's Rear Admiral Charles Allen. He's a good guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. I will say that. Okay, I will say that. There's a lot of them out there. He's just old and wants a paycheck. And look, 40 years at the CIA. Oh, God. Maybe. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. I'm an asshole. I'm going to teach y'all everything. Charles is my CIA director. We'll go to Charles. We'll go to, well, I'm even better than that, of course. Meet our leadership team. All right, we know Michael Chertoff, federal judge, DHS director. We know Chad Sweet, CIA at 18 years old. Then Morgan Stanley, then Goldman Sachs, then, well, back to the what? Department of Homeland Security. Now they're contract fuckers. They fuck you on contracts. You want me to get started? Look, that's my admiral there. Rear Admiral Jay Cohen. They don't put Rear Admiral. Can you imagine? He's one of the only few rear admirals that have ever made that brass in the world. But you have to go in to find out that it's the U.S. Atlantic Fleet Commander Service Ships, and it goes into Rear Admiral. He was actually in charge of nuclear power training, etc. That's Rear Admiral. Chief Naval Research, Rear Admiral Cohen's. was the Department of Navy's Chief Technology Officer. That means he was the smartest they got. I'm smarter than he is because I got his fucking everything. Hey, Rear Admiral Cohen, right? We could do this all fucking day if y'all want to. You want to do this all fucking day? We can do it all day. All right. Okay, Orange County. I'm just showing y'all the truth. Cherry Burr, you're about to get banned from the channel. Let's see if anybody's even learning anything. Oh, 6-6, right? You want to learn about who they worship and why? Remember, I've been on all their computers, every one of them. You want to know who they worship and why? All I need. Yeah, I know the Cohens, and most of them are the same family, believe it or not. Solomon, Peace too. Just like with Kaufman, there's 100 different spellings, but when I trace all their heritage back, it comes to a name I couldn't pronounce if it was my life's end. I couldn't pronounce it, so that's how it goes. Shit for brains, we have to start calling you that. He's on a short board. Oh, guys, he's on a foam board. Does he put his kid on the front? I think he does. I've seen this before. That dude can surf, man. With a foam board, I surfed my whole life, every break in the world. Every break in the world. I bet he would kill anyone that got in his way, too. I can't believe he got the second break right here. He knew when to swing him over and got that glide ride, man. We call it a glide ride. She seems nice. I really want to be at war at Zara. Can y'all even imagine? Can y'all even imagine what these people, can we call them people? I don't know if they're people, have, where is this? I'm trying to evacuate Tehran. Oh my God. Hope you had a full tank. But none of it was destroyed. The person that lived there said 30%. I said, well, that's good enough for me. That's why I put a question mark behind the 70%. Go look at the title again for the truly dumbos, right? And I lose people all the time, but I get the most recent videos, the most pertinent, faster to you than anyone in the world. Period. So enjoy that any way you can too. Alright. Nothing but crapola. I just hope Scott Jennings is okay. He got caught up in a hotel last night. Scott Jennings, my favorite CNN, everyone's favorite CNN reporter. goofy lies. Lies. They're just tricking you. Alright, for me, no more goofy lies. If you want to call me liars and cheaters and whatever, I gave you every source. And I actually put a question mark after every quote on my title. So, do I feel bad? Not even a little bit. Gosh. I might go to breakfast. God, if I was in... Oh, God, did she just get punished? I might... gosh, I hope not. I don't want to stay at these hotels. I need to pay a little bit more. Not be with trash. Trash. Oh, God. Central Israel tonight. I told y'all 1 hour ago. Not anymore, brother man. I can't believe how prepared Tehran was. I mean, this is incredible. Incredible show of strength. The Iron Dome has done nothing. Everyone that balked on my other video, they must have not seen that last night's video with the Iron Dome getting eaten up. 14 out of 15 going through it. Look, 1, 2. The Iron Dome catch them way up here. That one got caught. 1. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. It's always good times when you're dealing with the Jews or the Muslims. You can pretty much lots of jets. I don't know how many F-16s Israel has. I don't. I do know that the U.S. secretly only has 44 F-22s left. They've been used and abused, trashed, and that was available in 91, 96? What a fucking joke. Our Gen 5 fighters, we got 40 of them. And they've been available for 30 years? Where'd all the money go? Pieces of shit. That's what I want to know. And then here's the dream that y'all put millions of dollars a year, billions of dollars a year for. I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. If y'all believe that this is real, look, if y'all believe this is real, y'all don't know how, well, mathematics or anything else works. Anything works. If y'all really think this is real, it could have been a takeoff. Let's move it back. Watch. Alright. Watch. No steam. It would have been perfect. Look, perfect. Watch this. It's the only way this would have worked. They know I'm telling y'all more than y'all could ever know. I know more in my little pinky than y'all will ever know, but I've got a 14, 13-year-old to worry about, so trying to keep her at least live. Look, they say this is the guy. What's wrong with his eyes, man? What's wrong with his eyes, man? Is that the verb? They must have shot him up with some shit so he couldn't speak. You might have turned him in so they hit him with a little needle. You know how they do. He'll be dead by morning. Dead by morning? We know. I think we know how this works, but no. Alright, well, lots of love. God bless, guys. Ba-boom. Can I say ba-boom for you? I probably got some pretty good audio working. The US ATM sales is Mach 3. What happens when you get to Mach 5? Mach 5. $40 million. That's a Chinese Dongfeng 17. The 21 is much better. What about Mach 6? $50 million. Also Chinese. What happened to the Americans? Hypersonic Mach 8. They're saying Iran and I believe that as far as I can throw them. Alright. Lots of love, man. Hey, we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Try to make sure y'all are up on the news. Please share our videos. Please subscribe if you haven't, guys, or be a member. It'd be really helpful for me. I can't even make the bills on the channel right now, obviously. God bless. Shine, guys. It's time. God bless.